Hello, hello. Welcome to the Other Side Cycling podcast hosted by me, Lucy Mannall, Patrick James Roldan, and today we have a wonderful guest, Kyle.
What's up?
Hello.
What up, Kyle?
What's up?
Welcome, Kyle.
Thank you.
How's it going?
It's good. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, we're excited to have you.
It's a long time coming.
Yeah.
Ever since Sea Otter.
Yeah.
I think you have the honor of being our actual first born and raised Los Angeles guest.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Is that true?
Yeah,
Is it?
Catalina's from
Oh, like LA County,
sort of,
far
yeah.
away. Yeah.
And she doesn't want to claim LA because she knows that there's some distinctions. How do you feel about that?
I kind of feel the same too because my family is from the South and moved here in the 70s, and then I was born and back to Bakersfield
Oh, I
because
see.
my grandparents lived there, and then I moved back here like after the fact.
Okay.
So
Just kidding.
Just kidding
kind
again.
of really kind of
But you did live in LA for a considerable amount of time.
a long time,
Okay, that
like
counts.
12 years.
Whereabouts?
I was in Hawthorne for a long time.
Okay.
And then I kind of bounced around to the Valley. And then when I got to college, it was like Santa Monica because I went to the Art Institute. So then I was there pretty much until I moved away like 3 years ago.
Cool.
Yeah.
You moved away to go to Chicago?
Yeah. Chicago.
That's a cool place to go.
Not in the winter, but yeah,
No.
definitely a cool
It's
place.
a cold place to go in the winter.
Yeah, for sure. No, so I moved there, accepted a job at SRAM, and that's why I moved there. Never been to Chicago before that.
Just
I
blind.
love that.
Literally funny story. I applied and then I didn't read the job description because I was so stoked. And then like the fourth interview, they're like, this is not remote, right? And I was just like, oh, what do you mean? And
Oh,
like,
man.
And then they're like, you have to pick an office to go to. And
Yeah.
I was just like, what are my options? And then Chicago was.
That's amazing that you got that deep. You were that committed. And you're like, all right, I'll send it here.
What were the other options? Chicago?
Spearfish, South Dakota,
Sick.
Indianapolis, that's where Zip is, and then San Luis Obispo.
Okay.
It's like a small office for like development, like software.
They have Colorado Springs as well.
Oh, in the
right?
Springs, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, nah.
Most of those offices have different specialities, right?
Yeah.
Specialties.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said it like a British person.
Specialty.
Speciality.
Yeah.
That was correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both correct. But the Chicago office is the main head office, HQ.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's where it was actually founded in Chicago.
Sick.
And so that's where we call it the suits reside.
Yeah.
That's where all the executives are. And marketing, and then a little bit of research and development on the other side. A lot of, like you said, other offices have specialties. Like Spearfish is like quark power meters. That's where it was invented. And then Zip is obviously, that's where it's in Indianapolis, is where our warehouse and shipping, and that's where they actually make the 454s at.
Wheel
there.
building.
Yeah. And then Vancouver is like mountain bike stuff.
Oh, there's an office in Vancouver too.
Yeah.
Columbia.
Yeah, it's all mountain bike and e-mountain bike. Springs is like Rock Shocks. And then Schweinfurt, I just learned today, is like Zip's hubs and engineering and stuff out there.
Where's Schweinfurt?
In Germany.
Oh.
Yeah. Then we have a few like Portugal office, but I don't know what they do there.
That sounds great. Portugal office? Sign me up.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't know how to get there though. So
To Portugal? Fly to Lisbon. Find out. Ride your bike there.
yeah.
Can you disclose what you do for SRAM?
Yeah, of course. So the easiest way I can put it is, the ads that follow you around on the internet.
Yes.
That when you click on one and then tomorrow it'll be like, oh, here it is again. That's what I do for SRAM. It's called performance marketing, and it's mostly for Hammerhead and Velocio right now. But soon we just launched shop.sram, so you can actually purchase like spare parts, minimal parts like batteries and little like rotors and SRAM swag. And today you can buy zips on there. Go buy them.
Big moment.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be like a new chapter where you can buy directly from SRAM. Me and my counterpart, Mike Hampson, we're in charge of that. And then I also handle the direct buy stuff. So when you go to like Velo News and you see an article of SRAM, it's usually sponsored. Or if you go you click on Velo and the whole page just appears and it's a giant ad. That's what I do as well.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I mean, you're doing a really good job because years ago when I was in the shops, I'm sure for you as well, like SRAM was a pretty hard sell. Nowadays, It's like you can't go, if you're in the bike stuff, you can't go a minute without seeing a bike running SRAM and people talking really, really well of the brand.
I think in the US specifically, I think in England it's definitely big, but it's still growing. But the US, I would say the majority of people have SRAM on their bike.
At this point, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, with COVID, with Shimano having trouble having sustainable inventory in the States, SRAM did a really good job of making sure their market was flooded.
Yeah, and I also feel like SRAM's marketing is just stuff that you do, I'm sure is great, but more the kind of creative marketing aspect of things like the videos, there's how-to guides, but also product overviews, they're just really fun to watch and enjoyable, and it doesn't feel like you're watching an instruction video or like a product overview, like take this thing out the box and then put this on that. I'll find a couple and link them in the description, but they're just super creative, fun, and you really feel like the personality of the brand shines through into all the areas that you have. So yeah, congrats to you and the team on that.
Yeah, I think SRAM is unique because they don't take themselves that seriously with that stuff, and I think a lot of people enjoy that, like standing on a derailleur in a video, like, and everyone that's involved is just like really down to earth. It's not like super so serious, like like there is, part of the brand that is performance, and that's all like our bread and butter, but like that also can relax sometimes and just be normal.
I just noticed you say SRAM, not SRAM.
Like
Yes.
SRAM.
Is there a corporate guideline for how to say it?
No, but I think once you start working there, people I call people out sometimes, I know, like Patrick Lino. He says SRAM. Now it's SRAM because there's no SH, and so it takes a while to get used to saying SRAM instead of SRAM.
It does.
Can you say it again?
SRAM.
SRAM.
It's an acronym, right?
Yeah, it's an acronym for the founders of it. They just smashed their names together.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's just quite creative, but also very simple.
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard to name companies or brands or shops. Like I worked in a bike shop and they were like, we're going to do a rebrand. Put your ideas in as to what, and everyone was like spokes or like wheels or like Earth Cycle or something like, and they all sucked. And then they ended up just keeping their name. Creating something like that is hard, but I love SRAM because of that. And MAP are very similar, where their name stands for a lot of different stuff. Like I don't know if there is is there a correct brand guideline for what MAP stands for, or are they like you can kind of think of it as a lot of stuff?
I wouldn't say that there's anything specific, but there are specific products that get certain taglines, like modern articulated athletic apparel,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Oh.
There was a story that came out from the founders. They did a podcast episode, and Jared, I think, was the one who was talking. I think it was Wade Wallace's podcast. The
Escape Collective.
It was an Escape Collective podcast, but it was one of those like the one that he does, like
Yep.
from the founder or whatever it's called. Not a plug for them, but they they talked about MAP, and I think it was originally supposed to be spelled MAPP.
PP.
PP. At least that's what I remember without having notes in front of me about it. It was supposed to be maybe it was just supposed to be MAP, which kind of makes sense. Like you're on the bike, you're trying to find your way around, on the map. They kind of tap into that as well with a lot of their branding. But yeah, small, impactful, memorable names.
4 letters.
4 letters, just make sure no one else has it.
Yeah.
Easier said than done.
I mean,
Yes.
zip.
2 P's.
2 P's. Z-I-P-P. I love when people like actually own zips and then they debadge them. They put the PISS or PIZZ on it instead of ZIPP. They'll get like the stencils.
I've not seen that.
I haven't seen it either.
It's so funny.
That sounds funny.
I'll find one later. Maybe I'll put it in the episode description. But like a photo of someone's zips, like the sawtooth NSWs with PISS.
Like when
It's
people turn
big flex.
Panama into penis.
Yes, exactly. Or Rafa into penis. They got a cease and desist for that. The people who did that. Who knows? Water bottle, maybe.
Lame.
I know. Sad.
I
Sucks.
liked Ralpha.
Ralpha?
Like the
I always-
character Ralph from The Simpsons. And he's like in a cycling jersey or he's on, yeah.
That's funny.
That's
I
like,
always used to like when I used to type in Rafa and like I'd always type Ralph's And then I hit enter, and like Ralph's comes up, and I'm
You
like,
accidentally do your groceries,
Yeah,
and you're
yeah.
like, "This is not what I wanted."
Well, were you a Ralph's kid growing up or a Vaughn's kid? There's a question.
I was an Albertsons kid.
Albert's, that's Vaughn's. That's
Oh yeah,
Vaughn's.
Vons. Okay, yeah.
There you go.
For the
Yeah.
non-American viewers and listeners, we're talking about grocery stores here.
Yes.
Yes.
And a point to note is that you have some national grocery stores, like Whole Foods is national, but not absolutely everywhere. And then you have some that are like Ralph's is like a West Coast thing, correct?
Yes.
But it can be branded a different name in other
Yep.
cities.
Yeah, and then you have Publix, which is a very Florida specific
Specific
thing.
to Florida.
Publix.
Yeah.
Oh.
Publix.
Never been to Publix?
I've
They
had
have
a-
them in North Carolina too, yeah?
I've had a pub sub in Florida.
We've gone
They're
really off the
famous. I
rails.
don't know. Sorry.
I've never been to Florida, so
Well, we're talking about branding. We're talking about all these things.
Yeah.
I think grocery stores definitely have like a very regional importance in America. I think here you get like the national chains would be like Whole Foods, Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's actually started in California. It started here,
Yeah.
like in Monrovia, the east side of Los Angeles County. Like you have Ralph's, which I think is just Kroger
Mhm.
as a bigger brand. So do you have like that in Chicago? Do you have
yeah.
loyalty to Albertsons or their main brands out there?
Right now I'm loyal to H Mart.
H Mart.
because I live nearby. But if I'm not, it's called Jewel. We call it Jewel. It's like it's essentially like Vons. It's
okay.
like the same. It's red, white. It's literally the same.
Yeah.
So I just shop there right now.
I mean,
And the reason why, and this is like surprising to a lot of people, all grocery stores, and I wouldn't say all, but majority of them have bars in them.
what?
And so you can go like get like a shopping and then pull up and like get a little bit of buzz and then go check out.
I'm moving to Chicago. What? That's crazy.
Yeah, Mariano's has like a lit happy hour. It's like $5 a glass of wine, and it's like filled to the rim, and just go there and just like, and it's like they have a hot bar behind, so you can like hold your drink there and then go to the hot bar, get food, and come back to the bar, and then after you're done, you go grocery shopping.
I'm tripping out.
Does this exist in California?
I don't think so. I mean, a lot of states have laws distinguishing that you can't have like liquor or open liquor, that kind of dealing
Yeah.
in your own space, or like there's a time limit for how like what time you can sell stuff.
Or even North Carolina, they have like ABC stores that just sell liquor,
Yeah.
and they don't have that in supermarkets, grocery stores, whatever.
Erewhon, by the way, I vibe
Just
with.
flexing.
You vibe with
I
it?
vibe with it. I actually really like Erewhon. I'm changed. I'm a changed man. 2 years in LA officially. I like it. I like
You do your
Erewhon.
groceries at L1?
No, oh, absolutely not. I'll
was
go
gonna
get hot
say,
food
like, this
though.
man
I'll get
got
hot
money.
food.
He got
Yeah,
Erewhon
that's
money.
crazy. Imagine that.
Dinner's on Patrick tonight.
Mm-mm-mm. But I will say I might go get some pizza over there in a little bit.
I didn't really have that. I know on Fridays,
Yeah.
Whole Foods has $5 slices.
Whole Foods also has 12 for $12 oysters on
Let's
Fridays.
go.
I don't know if yeah.
You don't know if you get oysters from Whole Foods?
I feel like I'm quite new to oysters as of 4 or 5 years, but it has to be a specific situation. Like, I'm still a little wary. I had one horrible oyster in New York on a boat, and it tasted disgusting, and I was so worried that it was going to make me sick, but I was like, normally when you get sick, you don't really know until you're sick. Luckily, it didn't make me sick, but it tasted disgusting.
Well, now I'm
So-
turned off from going to Whole Foods
Yeah,
tomorrow.
I'm sorry. Just
Sorry,
realized it.
Kyle. We can't go get 12 for 12
all right.
oysters after our ride.
No, you do you. It's
No,
okay.
it's all right.
I feel like we should get back on track.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
So-
was crazy.
definitely a tangent.
If you sign up to Patreon, you can have the grocery store chat.
Through the magic of editing, we can move it to the transplant talk part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any regrets on moving to Chicago? So you're like, yeah, you got the job at SRAM, and you were like, cool, you got to Chicago. Was it what you expected?
I would say it was better than I expected for sure. But if answer your question, things that I missed, my friends, I have like a big, really tight knit group that I grew up with and do like everything together. And so it was kind of hard moving across the country. Now everyone's getting a bit older and everyone's finally, graduating from like medical school stuff, and now they're like ultra busy now. So I don't get to see them that often. So I think that was like one of the big, and my family, of course. So that was like kind of hard moving over there, but Chicago's a lot better than I expected for sure. It's so different than here.
Chicago has a really interesting scene overall for, like, you think of LA as a really big food city, a really big like skate city, really big cycling place. But Chicago has all that and then some, and it's in a smaller package with much more like intentional architecture. Like the city landscape of Chicago is insane. Can you tell us a little bit about what it was like to adjust to that place?
Yeah. I think the biggest one was the winters, like just the different temperature and everything. That was like jarring. Like I interviewed in like September and it's like beautiful, like 70 degrees. Everyone's out just having a good time. And then I pull up like December 1st.
Negative 2
It
degrees.
was like 12 degrees and I drove across the country.
Yeah.
I drove my car there and yeah, that was hard to get used to. I think I'm not used to it still. You kind of just get a nice jacket and dress well, then you just tolerate it. But the architecture is really beautiful there. It's an old city, a lot of brick, which is nice to look at. Everything's really solid. The roads suck. I'll say that.
I imagine with all the salt and the rain and the snow, cold weather impacting the tarmac for sure is going to mess up those roads.
Yeah, that's like the one thing that was like, this is annoying. But then we ride the same route because it's not many places to ride there besides north. And so you kind of memorize where the holes are. You kind of dodge them. Does that answer your question? Now I'm like on a tangent.
No, I mean, answer it however you'd like.
Yeah.
Do you ride with the beautiful Brown Boys crew ever?
The beautiful Brown Boys crew.
Yeah. Have you heard of them? Beautiful
No.
Brown Boys? Shout out to the homie Will Call.
Oh, yeah, duh. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I never even heard of that.
Is
Yeah.
that what they call themselves?
No, it
Shout
was
out
like
Will.
a shout out Will. That's not like it was like
I
a-
get what you're saying now.
Yeah. There's a little call out, little inside thing. They had like a little Instagram tag for it, but yeah.
I try, but they're too beautiful sometimes.
That's why I asked. I'm like, Kyle, come on, man. You don't see yourself on the camera right now, but when you look back, when you watch the video, you look good.
Appreciate that.
There you go. I haven't been in Chicago in a while. I think now that you're there, I have more reason to go. I wanted to ask about the Windy City aspect of Chicago. Did you know that although Chicago is called the Windy City, it is not, statistically speaking, the windiest city in the country?
I did know that because I'm a nerd.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well,
I love that. Do you know what the windiest city in the country is?
I don't, but I know it's not Chicago.
It's Boston.
Yeah, really?
The windiest big city in the country is actually
Huh,
Boston.
I didn't know that.
is
Yeah.
that because it's? I mean, Chicago's obviously exposed because the lake,
The lake.
but Boston is also quite exposed.
It's on a bay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that why it's windy and then the tall buildings too?
The tall buildings for both have something to do with it, and the wind effect versus the bay effect also has something to do with it. I just don't know why exactly. If we have any meteorology nerds listening, you can probably chime in and see what's up. But I remember getting absolutely blown away on my bike by wind in Boston. Like, it was pretty crazy. You go down one of the main avenues, Huntington Avenue, you just get spiked by wind. As soon as you hit one big building, it just like funnels it right at you.
Sounds like
Crazy.
an album, Blown Away in Boston.
I don't want to listen to that album, I'll be honest. I'm good on that.
Do you know why it's called the Windy City?
No.
'Cause it's
Oh, fun fact. It's because of corrupt politicians, like windy politicians. And that's what it's from.
Okay.
From like the 30s or something like that.
I love that. We're
Yeah.
learning, sharing facts.
Yeah, I'm a nerd.
I hate that. I hate that there's windy politicians. They still be doing that.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to get into that on today's episode, though. Not for
Now let's get into it.
Dive in.
In the winter, are you still able to ride your bike outside? Like you said, there's some kind of roads that you can, or are there some months where you're like, I just have to take it indoors?
If you're brave enough, shout out Kelly O'Brien. She rides into work when it's like negative 10 degrees, and I don't know why she does it. She's insane, but she is my favorite cyclist. So but yeah, people do it. It's crazy when it's like in the negatives. People wear like snowboarding gear and like goggles, and they ride the bar mittens.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
throw them in there like fully, like it's insane. Those
In the
people are-
snow, too, or what?
Yeah, some people in the snow. Like if it hasn't snowed that much, but usually it's like the wind chill is like
Yeah.
super cold, like, and it's miserable. I don't ride because I tell everyone in Chicago, I was like, from California, like if it's lower than 50, don't hit me up.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna ride the trainer or just not ride at all.
That's fair. I think riding in the snow is also just it's so dangerous.
It's very dangerous.
It's so
too.
dangerous. Like whiteout conditions, or even when it's cold, people are just like
Yeah,
kind of just jittery.
Yeah. And then people can't drive either.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
And-
icy.
You're like, cool, I'm going to leave this one bike ride. Maybe I'll ride tomorrow or next week. So it doesn't mean that I'm not on the bike for the next couple months or whatever.
Yeah. Scariest thing is ice. Like
Yeah.
I think it was a couple months ago. It like rained and then the temperature dropped to like 10 degrees. And then the next day, like everything was like an ice rink. Like I have a video of I'm walking through a park and I take 3 steps and like I slide like 10 feet. Everyone was slipping and falling that day. That's probably the scariest because you can't see it until you walk out. And then you just have confidence. You step off. You're like, oh, it's going to be such a good day. And it was sunny too. Then you step out and you just like almost die.
You're really selling it to me.
Definitely move there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine it's very similar to European summers where when the weather is good and when the sun's out and it's that perfect spring summer day, everyone's outside because they've hustled through the winter to get to that point. And then when it is summer, it's just glorious. The air smells fresh, the bike rides are insane, and you just want to spend all the time outside, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm going to say this with my chest. Chicago summers are better than LA summers, hands down. It's like everyone's in a great mood because they've been cooped up all like winter, and everything, all the restaurants have like outside seating now, and like the weather's nice. You can go jump in the lake. It's like not salty or anything. It's like just a freshwater lake, and like everyone's just in a great mood. And
But it's a nice beach too,
it's
like
beautiful.
on the lake, right?
And it's
Lake
like,
Michigan.
Yeah, I forgot what his name was, but when Chicago was founded, they put like something in the Constitution where you can't build any buildings along the shorefront all the way to like, I think Evanston, which is like quite far north, but they're not allowed to build any buildings on the beach. So it's like a beautiful like lakefront for like 15 miles.
Wow.
And it's amazing.
I haven't, in the 2 years that I've been in Los Angeles, I haven't been to the beach in the summer. I feel,
It's quite nice.
yeah, I mean, you've been to the beach in the last couple of weeks, haven't you?
Yeah. Yeah. The first beach day was May, which is kind of crazy, but, complications because of the fires and other stuff. But that first beach day that I went, it was incredible. Just so good.
Yeah, people trip out when I tell them. When I was growing up, some people never been to the beach before living in LA. Like they were like, "What do you mean you never been to the beach?" And I was like, just far.
Yeah.
It's not accessible sometimes.
But you'll do it more now that you're in Chicago by the lake.
Oh, obviously, I live near the lake, so it's like
Nice.
a 5-minute bike ride.
Beautiful.
Yeah, summers are lit. You should come.
Yeah, I've been to Chicago, but it was the winter and it was pretty bleak. But I can see the appeal coming from a European place. I know how good those summers and like that vibe that you've waited for months for those days. It's so good. So yeah, it's on my list.
It's driven by anxiety too. It's like, oh god, like all right, how many more months till winter? Like we gotta get in as much time outside as we can because once the trees start turning colors, it's like, oh no, it's coming.
Yeah. I think Chicago also has like a very diverse demographic overall. I think in the States, it has a very, very high population of Puerto Rican, Cuban, and Mexican immigrants over there.
Yep.
Not very different from LA as far as like the food scene, right?
The food is out there. It's amazing. It's
Yeah.
also like Chicago is the most tightly dense Michelin star restaurant place in the United States.
Yeah.
And they do everything fundamentally really well, which I think LA, it's a lot of vibes.
Yeah.
Like you go, they're like, oh, it's so vibey, but the food is like mid.
Yeah, exactly.
But there it's like you go into a sub shop that's been there for like 100 years and they still do the same way that they did in the beginning, and it's amazing every time.
That sub that you're talking about, would you be able to compare it to Bay Cities in Santa Monica?
Oh yeah, any day.
And is it better? Give us the rundown, because I got chewed out for having thoughts about Bay Cities.
I'm curious about that too. I like Bay Cities. I think their bread is a little hard. Which
Okay, that's where I'm at. That's exactly where I'm at.
Yeah. But I think the biggest distinction of Chicago subs is like having giardiniera on it, which is like pickled like
Italian.
jalapenos and like a bunch
Italian kimchi.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like so amazing. And I think that's what makes it. And the bread is a lot softer and it's more traditional. There's a place called Bari that's in the Italian. It's like a really small neighborhood in West Loop near actually the SRAM headquarters. And it's like an old Italian. I think it's still run by the mob. But they have like the best Italian sandwiches like on this one strip. And yeah, I think it's better than Bari. Or not Bari, sorry. Bay Cities. Yeah, it's just good. And there's like D'Amato's too. I'm sure someone want me to shout that out. I don't really like them. They're weird, but I'm sure someone's gonna be like, "Why did you shut up? Mention D'Amato's or JP, blah blah blah." And I'm like, I like Bari. They're cool, and they got super hot giardiniera, which I like.
I'll have to check that out because I rated Bay Cities pretty low, like relative to other Italian places that I've had. But I think it's just because I wasn't getting the right thing. Like,
Yeah, you're meant to order the godmother.
no. That ain't what I'm getting. I'm not getting. I'm never getting a sandwich there again. I'm getting their hot bar. I'm only getting their hot bar. Shout out to Marcos Melchor. He put me on. He said that I was ordering the wrong stuff too. He was like, "Don't get a sandwich. Just go to the hot bar. They'll give you a nice piece of bread, and it's soft. It's actually soft
Okay.
compared to the sandwich bread that they use." I was very surprised. He was right. I trust him. I trust that man. I do trust you too, Lucy, for showing me Bay Cities. But
Clearly.
I didn't order the right thing when I was there with you. So
Yeah, I feel like I just almost break my teeth trying to like bite through the
Exactly.
bread, which I'm like,
that's what I'm saying.
like you like, and you like pull it away.
Yeah, Italian bread should be nice and fluffy on the inside with a really crisp and light crunch.
Yeah.
You know? At least that's how I know it to be.
I agree with you.
Thank you.
Okay, back.
Back on track.
Yeah, we're now rebranding to a sandwich podcast.
Hey,
be sick.
ain't anything wrong with that. So you miss your friends who are out here, tight knit community. You guys got to know each other through what? Through skateboarding?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
You come from a skate background?
Yeah. I've been skating since I was in like kindergarten.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Do you remember your first board?
Yeah. It was a toy machine. I
Ooh.
forget whose it was, but it was a toy machine. I got it from my neighbor who like was older but didn't skate, but he saw that I was skating and he's like, "Oh, you want my skateboard?" And that's how.
That's
Shout
cool.
out Jason, neighborhood drug dealer.
He's totally listening, right?
Yeah, he's super cool. He's not in jail. He's an amazing guy. He made it through.
Not all drugs deserve to put you in jail.
Exactly. Preach.
Do you still skate now?
Yeah, I actually started to skate again recently. I tore my ankle in half like probably like 5 years ago. And so
Snap.
yeah, I was filming somebody at Stoner Skate Park on the west side, and I was just like, waiting for him to come to us. I could film him, and I just was like, "Oh, I'm gonna do a kickflip." Did a kickflip, and I like, here's the board and my ankle, and I like rolled over. So usually when I roll my ankle on the ground, the floor stops it, but there was nothing to stop it. So I like tore like everything in my ankle, and I had to start a new job the next day. So that was quite tough. So after that, I was like, I probably should like chill on skating, and so. Yeah, kind of don't do it as much, but I kind of want to get around to doing it again. Just kind of scoot around.
Was it your lead foot or your
My lead foot, yeah.
not your popping foot?
No,
Yeah.
no, it's fine now. When it gets cold, it gets a little creaky, but
You regular or goofy?
I'm regular.
Okay. All right.
Yes, sir.
Do you know what we're talking about?
Yeah, I
You
used
do?
to skate.
You
as a kid.
skate?
Yeah.
What?
do
I
you
didn't know
skate?
this.
Do a kickflip, then.
Yeah. Do a kickflip.
Mitch has a skateboard, right?
Dad,
Possibly.
did you have a
Dad?
skateboard?
No, I used to skate a lot as a kid, actually. It kept me so fit because my parents lived up, well, I did too, lived up a big hill. So it would be like 10-minute walk or 15-minute walk to the skate park or skate. And then getting back up at the end was always just such a slog. I would just go skate all day. I brought my skateboard to LA actually a couple years ago, but I haven't really touched it. I think I was scared at first because I didn't want to break anything when I didn't have health insurance. But I have been meaning to get out, but it's like because it's been so long, it's pretty intimidating, even just to like cruise down the street.
Yeah.
But I know that a lot of the roads and even the bike path along the beach is kind of ideal for skating, and I kind of just need to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how I met all my friends. We were all skateboarders, and that was a common interest. And then we're still friends to this day. There's like a group chat of like 15 people, degenerates. But yeah, they're great. We would skate all day, like just go out and just no cars, just get on the bus and just wreak havoc everywhere all day.
How is the skateboarding culture and community different to the cycling culture and community?
That's a good question. I feel like it's blending nowadays. Like it's so trippy to see like really good skaters like Boo Johnson now riding bikes, and I'm like, maybe it's just like because they've already kind of done it and now they need something else maybe, or like don't want to get as hurt and they have families, so it's like now they're sustainable long term. Even though Andrew Reynolds is still doing it, but what kind like cycling? Like, do you mean road cycling, or what do you like, or just in general?
I guess maybe I meant road cycling, but it could be all of cycling in general. I think there's probably quite a lot of crossover between skateboarding and mountain biking, or like BMX bleeds into mountain biking. Maybe I'm wrong.
I would think that's more the case. I think skateboarding is probably closer to like people who ride track bikes on the street. I think that culture is more similar than anything. I think road cycling, it's like a little serious, and skateboarding is definitely not serious. And just having a few bike messenger friends, I think the cultures are very much similar, like really carefree and just to have fun and not take things too seriously. And yeah, so I think that's probably the closest. Mountain biking and BMX are definitely, I think, closer together than everything else.
With skateboarding and road cycling, I do see a lot of crossover, honestly. Like you mentioned, Toy Machine is your first board. Weekly, when Axel's in town, Axel Kreisberg, that dude is basically a pro cyclist at this point. Like he is strong enough to be at that level. And I don't know how young he is. He's probably like my age, like 28. Maybe younger, I don't know, but he's insane on the bike, unbelievably fast, incredible bike handling. Back in New York, Johnny Wilson, he's a filmer for Nike SB, filmer for Supreme. He's part of the Map family, and he rides like an absolute savage. Talking to you at like his zone 5, he's talking to you. He's like, "Are you ready to keep going?" And it's just like seeing those skateboarders who have that like next level. Because they're dedicated to a clip, right? Yep. They know that they have a limited time to get this clip, and they're going to have to keep trying, and they're going to get better on every single try. They'll do that same thing with bikes. Like, if they get on a road bike and they see how demonically fast they can go, they'll be like, I can go even faster next time, I bet. And it's just like, there's a switch in those skateboarders' brains to get faster. I don't know what it is.
I can see that for sure. It's like an obsessive, like, not compulsive, but it's like obsessive personality to like, I'm going to try this trick till I land it. If it takes me 6 hours, I'm going to land it. And I think it might be the same with cycling too. Like, I'm going to just train as hard as I can and just go faster. And it's also probably like an adrenaline thing too.
Adrenaline,
like just going downhill, like I'm going to just rip it. Cause like,
you got that kid out here, Diego Johnson, son of Rudy Johnson, the homie.
Yeah.
And that kid, I met him 3 years ago. He's not the same person as he was 3 years ago on a bike, but he is still the same Diego. Like, absolutely balls to the wall on everything. Goes all in on everything.
Yeah, I rode with him, and he's like, "Let's go to Mount Wilson." And I was like, "All right, cool. It's a zone 2." And then when we got there, I was like, "Oh, we're zone 2s are different. Like, this is gonna suck." I probably slowed him down that day, but whatever.
I always feel bad when I ride with him. He's just like, "I'll stick with you." I'm like, "Yeah, that makes me feel good." But the community for skateboarding, you're seeing a lot more of those people involved in the bike industry in general, in kind of producing films. We were talking about SRAM earlier, and like, the quality of the content. Like, a lot of the way content is produced right now is inspired by skateboarding. Supreme's films from the 90s, like William Strobeck stuff. Like, that stuff is absolutely, you look at the new Physique ad that just came out yesterday for the shoes that they launched. Bang Bang Studios.
I don't right now.
Yeah, those shoes are insane. I don't know if Bang Bang Studios had Strobeck films like lined up while they were on the mood board, but there's definitely elements in how things were shot. Ask anyone who's like studied film a little bit. You know this. You studied film. We all went to art school. You know what it's like, right? Like, what are you seeing as far as influence in ads and such?
Yeah, I think it's just certain brands are stepping away from the traditional cycling stuff, or someone giving a voiceover and it's like a dramatic shot of a bike or a pro cyclist racing it through the cobbles or up a mountain pass, and you're like, yeah, cool, new bike, sweet. Where it's I say certain brands because absolutely not everyone is doing this, but certain brands really have a clear theme behind it and it's refreshing, and they're clearly taking elements from other subcultures. I think a thing I'm tired of in the cycling space is just brands being like, "Oh, well, this is how we did the ad for the last bike and that worked well. Cool. Let's just like do that again." Whereas, it's just kind of ripping away everything and it's like, cool, we have this product, whether it's a bike, piece of kit, some shoes, a helmet, whatever it is. It's like, how do we make that exciting, taking away everything else we already know?
Yep. Bringing the eyes, the perspective of people outside of the bike industry to make the bike industry look like something that people outside of it would want to consume. Huge.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're finally cycling industry is getting a foothold on like being cool in a sense. I feel like, no offense to all cycle, but it wasn't that cool. It was like very niche, like kind of rich people. But now I think a lot of younger people are starting to get into it and giving their own like twist on it. And I think it's a lot to do with like a lot of diversity. Like a lot of new people are coming into industry and pitching ideas.
I think that is huge because a lot of people who are already consuming cycling media are, sorry Lucy, but white people, white European leaning people.
Right.
And I mean, even in the Americas, it's, historically a white sport.
White men.
White men, for sure. And you now are starting to see, because of the influx of like this cool, like the countercultures, I would say. Like you're seeing skateboarders infiltrate cycling. You're seeing people from fixie, track bikes, like riding alley cats and stuff. That although some of those people are still definitely white people, like they're infiltrating the space in directing, marketing, and creative direction for a lot of brands now. That's like people who see the not rich side of the sport and why the sport is so beautiful to make it accessible. I think you saw that with tennis, right? Tennis was classically the sport that, tennis and golf were the two sports that if you had a business meeting, what is that rich white guy going to do?
Yeah.
Go play tennis, go to the links,
Yeah.
right? Now, those rich white people are going to go, all right, those sports, you're now seeing people of color over there. I don't want to be in that space. Let me go ride bikes.
Yeah.
And now we're here doing the same thing to bikes, and we're creating spaces where we're all on equal platforms, I think.
Yeah. No, I agree. I love seeing it. I love it.
Yeah.
It's like, it's refreshing. It's no hate on Shimano, but like their marketing is so like boring. And I'm so glad that SRAM's not like that at all. And they kind of like to do fun things and have people of color and all their marketing stuff, no matter what it is. It's cool seeing yourself and stuff like that.
Yeah. DEI plays whatever, like if you are forcing DEI into stuff, but you have to really commit to actually using those people, not abusing those people.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you can't just have like a tokenized person in these things. They actually have to be involved, like integrated. Yeah. Like this person is just demonstrating how to build it. It's like, okay, cool. Do they actually know how to build it, or are you reading a script?
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Like at least with the SRAM people, it's like actually these people are proper mechanics. Like these are people who are involved in the design, in the engineering aspect of it, which is that's sick.
Yeah, all the people in the SRAM, like Meet the Range videos.
Yeah.
Like those are all employees. Like those are not actors. Those are like people who actually work the brand.
Dog's trying to get in.
That is a paid actor.
That's
He's a paid actor.
for sure. No, it's cool to see like people that actually work on their product actually in the videos and stuff.
Yeah, I think the main term or a term is if you can't see it, then you can't be it.
Yeah.
And it's what you said, seeing yourself in whether it's an ad or a pro cyclist racing or a group ride or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I think also an important point here is like having these people from different areas being a part of the company, the companies and the brands in the first place. Because I've been in meetings where people are like, oh, they're planning for a video shoot or a photo shoot or a product release or whatever it is. And then I'm like, oh, but why don't we include a woman in this? Or like, oh, have we got a woman's input on how these shorts look and feel and how long they should be or how short they should be or whether they should have a pocket. And people just really don't think about that. Whereas if you have these people from different backgrounds in the meetings or as part of the conversation, then that's when you'll see the diversity reflected as well. So that makes a huge difference too.
Yeah,
for sure. Well, we're talking about riding now. The next segment that we usually jump into is the Staples, homage to the Staples Center. The Staples being, we're riding. That's the basis of how we know each other. We ride bikes. What have you been riding since you've come over here to LA? Since you've come back to visit?
What did I
What are you
ride?
getting up to?
We did Mandyville.
Yeah.
Was that
Good old Mandy?
Yeah, good
Monday?
old Mandyville. Yeah.
No, Tuesday.
Yeah.
It was hot.
It was very hot.
We
Little
both
heat wave.
we both wore black kits for some
Mistake.
stupid reason. I was just looking at my kits like, yeah, this one, I haven't worn this in a while. And then we were climbing and just suffering.
I
It
was
hot.
sweating bullets. It's like the first time I've ridden outside proper this year.
Sick.
Quite jarring to go out. I'm like, wow. I was like, not even beginning of the climb, I was already out of water. And
Oh
I was
my
like, oh,
God.
tight.
Sick.
Yeah, we both only also brought one bottle each, which
Yeah.
I don't know, very rookie ride, but it was fun to ride together. I taught you some new roads.
Yeah, it's always crazy. No matter where you ride, you find something new here.
I'm going to be showing you a lot of new stuff tomorrow for sure on the east side here. So
Nice. Then I did the NPR ride, which was quite miserable. Not even getting the cap.
tell us a little bit about NPR. I haven't done it yet, but I've been told that it's something that I should do because it's riding that they think that I like. But seeing reviews, seeing some videos, shout out to Ladon, Ride Bold. I watched his video on NPR and it did not sell me on the experience. I'll be quite honest.
It's definitely fast. If you can stay in the draft, I think you'll be fine. It's just when they turn around and it's like the explosive 1,000 watts out of the corner, like 10 times? It gets quite hard.
It's 10 laps of what road?
No, it's like 5, but
Oh,
you turn
got you.
around like
Got you.
double that.
It's around Westchester, kind of near LAX.
Yep.
Yeah.
Quite a big road, but it's generally quite empty, especially at that time in the morning.
Yeah, it was pretty empty besides that like fire truck.
Fire truck.
Yeah, the fire truck pulled up, and then also getting caught at the red lights kind of is annoying, and then having to start back up. But I got dropped way before that, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, it was hard, and it's like a slight uphill over the overpass, and it's like just long enough to where it's like I'm gonna die if I don't get there in like 10 seconds. And I'm like not in the best shape ever, so it didn't help.
Is there an equivalent ride in Chicago?
Yeah, there's this one. What's it called? The Lighthouse Ride. And it starts like north of Chicago, near Evanston. It's like near Northwestern, the university. It's out of the city. It's in the suburbs. But that one's like 50 miles long.
Whoa.
And it's literally like a Cat 1, Cat 2 race.
Oh, snap.
It's pretty hard, but if you could stay in the draft and survive, there's not too many climbs. There's like 2 maybe. And when I say climb, it's like 60 feet.
Yeah.
But that one I think it's equivalent. Like that one was hard. I almost got dropped like within 5 minutes because I was like, I got to the front and my friend Luis, shout out, he's super strong and I wasn't paying attention and I noticed that he was at the front and I was next and there was like no way I can keep like 32 miles an hour and I just had to like pull off even before my pool. And I was like, dude,
No shame.
I was like, you guys got to do this. Like, ain't no way.
As long as you keep it smooth.
Yeah.
No shame.
I was like, hey, someone take over. I'm not going to be able to do this. And then, so yeah, I think that's equivalent. It's a little longer. I mean, it's like 2.5 hours or something
Oh
like
my
that.
God.
Of just full gas. And it's like all the fast boys in town.
And that's all on the same like loop, kind of like just doing laps?
No, it's like a whole course.
Oh,
like
it's a
out
road course.
Yeah, it's a road
Okay,
course
okay.
out and back.
Got
Goes
it.
through like the suburbs. Really early in the morning, there's not a lot of traffic and there's not a lot of stop signs and lights. So it's kind of
That's nice.
Yeah.
You can't really get that out here.
yeah, you can get especially it's real rural after a while, and so it's just like farmlands and like big suburbs and big large streets,
Yeah.
especially at like 6 in the morning. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's like I don't know if it's equivalent, but it's like the speeds were the same.
Mhm.
Yeah, and the fillings.
Talking about riding in Chicago, you were telling me that from the city you can easily ride to the Home Alone house,
Oh yeah.
which sounds very fun. That's not that far from the
What city is
right?
it in?
It's Skokie, I think it is.
Skokie, Illinois.
Yeah, don't fact check me on that. I'm not sure, but it's like a little bit before Evanston, so it's like you get to Northwestern and then I think you keep going like I don't know. I've only been there once and it was right when I moved there, so I wasn't sure where, but it's not too far away from the suburbs. That area is beautiful. It's like just really big houses, brick houses for days. It's near Michael Jordan's house is a little bit further north, but it's like the same vibe.
23 on the gate.
Yeah.
Jumpman on the gate.
Yeah. But yeah, it's easy to get to though.
There's a series of races that I think previously was called Intelligentsia Cup.
Mm-hmm.
Is it still called Intelligentsia? What is it now? Chicago Grit?
Yeah.
Chicago Grit.
Yeah, Chicago Grit Series.
Have you watched any of those races?
I've only watched the last one that's in the downtown area. Goes in front of our office, and only because it's close by.
Yeah.
The other ones take place like way out in the suburbs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I don't have a car, so it's kind of hard to get to there.
Fair. It's I don't have a car here in LA either. It's tough to get around. Tough to get around the suburbs over there too, I imagine.
Yeah, but I live in downtown, so I don't really go out there, and so.
Do you ever just take the commuter rail around?
Yeah, you take the Metro up there. You can take the Amtrak to Milwaukee, and you can kind of go any. There's trains everywhere. It's like all the trains in the United States kind of converge on the Chicago, so you can kind of go anywhere.
Yeah. We were talking earlier a little bit about like the diaspora of people coming to LA, that they usually would go, if they're coming from the South, they would go to Chicago and then across to Los Angeles by the train. Why don't we do that as a society anymore? We really don't rely on trains anymore.
'Cause I got my F-150. That's why, brother.
Neither of us have F-150s. The irony.
Damn.
Sad. I'll go half on a car payment.
Let's go.
I'll just drive
We'll
it
get
across.
an F-450. We'll get, like we saw one on the freeway. It's like a Power Stroke. Like let's just go full in.
Those things, like those are the base for emergency vehicles.
Yeah.
Like the bigger the number in front of the 50, the bigger the vehicle that's supposed to be carrying. You know.
The train from LAX is going to open next month.
The K line.
I don't know what line it is, but we don't have to get too deep into this. But speaking of trains in LA and public transport, it's a small step.
True.
And not very helpful for where I live, but it'll be interesting to see.
I would like to be able to take the train to the airport, because back home in New York, I used to take the train back to my parents' house or back to my apartment. Like getting off from JFK, take the air train, which I think is like $6, or free if you're leaving the train, but going into it, I think it's $6. And then you take the subway to your destination. That's it. It was so easy. Better than paying $60 to just leave the airport in a car, and they're gonna refuse you because you have a bicycle. Come on, man.
And you have to walk there.
And then you have to walk with all that crap. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's tough.
Being able to take the train to LAX would be cool.
Yeah, we'll see. Stay tuned. Have you been riding a bike much this week?
I actually haven't really been. I did on Saturday. I have two friends who, one of them is actually born and raised in LA. His name is Ye. Shout out Ye.
Not Kanye.
Not Kanye. Not that guy. No shout out to him, Chicago. Sorry. Hell no. Ye moved to LA from New York, which is where I met him. But he's from Arcadia, Alhambra, SGV, and his wife is from Carson. So they moved over here, and we've been riding a bunch. I have a little group chat with him, and then our other friend Chase. Chase he's Cat 2, I think. He's fast as hell, skinny white dude, 6'1", like 150 pounds soaking wet. Like he just got his first disc brake bike. He got a Factor.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, with Envy wheels on there, and then he put blue graphics on the Envies. I'm like, you really went all in.
Drinking that Kool-Aid.
But we have a little group chat called Nueva York Angeles. So the three of us did our inaugural Nueva York Angeles ride. We went up GMR. We were supposed to do Malibu. So we went the opposite direction because we were like, it's cold and gray. It'll be colder and grayer in Malibu.
Yeah.
But we still wanted to get climbing. So we went the opposite direction for it to be even colder and grayer. We went up Glendora Mountain Road. We were going to take it over the ridge and then go all the way up to Mount Baldy. But by the time we got up to the shack on GMR, the road was technically closed on GRR, but you can get through them. Glendora Ridge Road, which takes you to Glendora Village, which is the base of the Mount Baldy climb. Would have been cool to do that, but it would have been a really long day and really cold and wet on the descent. It was already really cold on the descent. Like, couldn't see anything through my sunnies. But yeah, that was the bulk of the riding that I did. I haven't been really able to wake up early these past couple of days. I've been doing some sunset riding, just like T-shirt, cargos.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, that's probably what I'm gonna do after this.
Chase is a really good name for a cyclist.
You would not believe this. Would you believe me if I told you my friend Chase's name is not just Chase, but Chase Wheeler?
No way. Did
Yeah.
he change
Chase Wheeler.
the,
Chase
birth
Wheeler.
name?
His birth name is Chase Wheeler. He was born to be in your draft, except he's dropping the shit out of you.
Well, then it's like Chase Wheeler.
Yes, exactly. Got to chase that guy. He's sick. One of the nicest dudes. I just can't ride with him that much because he's so fast. Like,
We should get him on the podcast.
we could.
It's demoralizing getting dropped in someone's draft.
Yeah.
Because you're like, it's flat. What's happening?
Like, he already had an aero bike before that, but now he has an aero bike with disc brakes, so he doesn't have to, like, time his braking as well as he did before. He's a great bike handler because of it. But now it's scary to ride with him up and down and on flats and everywhere else. Anyway,
Tough.
very tough. I think we move into transplant talk for the sake of, moving on with the conversation. What do you think?
Sounds
Yeah.
good.
Cool.
I guess we've already touched a lot on kind of transplant talks just naturally from our conversation and from Kyle being kind of from LA, but not really, and no longer living here, but being back here for the week. But if we want to talk about something not cycling related, you went to see the basketball last night, but you went to COSM, which for people that don't know, COSM is kind of like a mini version of the Sphere in Vegas with like huge screen immersive experience. But COSM, it's kind of near the crypto arena, like in kind of downtown LA. No? Have I just messed that up? Where the hell is it?
It's between the new Clipper Stadium and SoFi. It's
Okay.
like
So
in
Inglewood.
the middle. Yeah, it's in Inglewood.
I don't know why I got that so wrong. I thought in my head it was near crypto in that like where there's a lot of bars and restaurants and
is transplant talk.
Yeah, okay. Well, I've learned something. But anyway, it's meant to be like an immersive experience, and they mostly show sports games from what I understand. But you went to experience it last night. How was that?
It was amazing. I would say where we sat, we didn't know. My friend has been there before, but he sat in another section above us, which is when you go in there, it's like a dome experience. And if you sit on the top one, all you have to do is turn your neck back and forth to see them, because they have a camera behind the net and then in the middle of the court and then behind the other net. So when they go across to the middle of the court, all you have to do is like move your eyes really. But like we sat at the very bottom floor, so like the way I describe it is if you ever been to the movie and sat in the first row, that's exactly how it was. It was very much like that.
Is it
And-
meant to be like a courtside style experience?
Yeah, it was the screens were like super high def. So like I was telling her earlier that you can see the celebrities who's sitting in the front row because it's so clear. So that was kind of fun to like spot people. But yeah, it's literally you're behind the court. The way the cameras, it's so close to you, and like you have no replays. So like if you miss a moment, like you can't see it unless there was one replay like literally like on the ceiling. Like you have to like look up to the like right, and it's literally on the ceiling.
Kind of like how it would be in the court, like on the jumbotron.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah. I'll send you like a video because I took a video, but it was like
That's cool.
Literally, we're all just going nuts because of what happened, and then yeah, it was like chaos in there. And then the last shot was the whole building went crazy because it was like
I'm in so much pain.
there were so many Knicks players in there, or not players, fans in there. So when he shot it and missed, they went crazy, and because they're like, "Oh, he missed," and then
It just
The ball
drops.
came back down.
and it was hard
went-
to see because the camera's behind the court, so like you didn't know where the ball went because it looked like it missed, so everyone was going crazy, and then all of a sudden you just see, and then like half the people were going nuts and half the people were doing this, and it became
That was me.
For
My face.
the people that aren't basketball fans or maybe not based in America and hadn't seen this, I'll find a clip of the replay and put it down below. It's like one of the craziest things I've seen in basketball. Like you kind of just explained it, but basically they went to shoot the shot. It rebounded off the rim, or was
Back
it?
iron.
Or the back.
Yeah.
It wasn't
and-
the backboard. It hit the
The
back
right-
iron.
yeah.
So where the
Okay.
rim connects to the backboard. Shot straight up into the air.
But then went up into the air. Sorry, Patrick's having to relive this again. Went
Sucks to
straight up
suck.
into the air, but then went down and through the hoop, and it was pretty majestic.
He had his foot on the line though.
yeah.
So he didn't win the game, But
It meant it went into overtime though.
Yeah, but I think their morale was down.
Yeah.
for more context, for those of you who don't know why this is so important, it is the last series before the NBA Finals Championship Series, and the Knicks and Pacers are probably one of the biggest, most storied rivalries in sports in the last 30 years. And it's actually pretty important in cycling as well, because a local LA cyclist, the beloved Reggie Miller, is someone who I despise with my whole heart as a New Yorker, because he has this celebration where he made a choking gesture because the Knicks choked in a couple of games with him. But what people don't know, last night Tyrese Halliburton did the same choke gesture because the Knicks blew what was essentially almost a 20-point lead in the last 2 minutes of the last quarter of the game. He did that choking gesture as an homage to Reggie, who is calling the game, by the way, for TNT. He should not be calling the game. New York Knicks actual home announcer is Mike Breen. Mike Breen is on ESPN. Why isn't ESPN picking up the ticket to... Anyway.
We've triggered Patrick.
Keep going.
Reggie Miller did the choking gesture, but then they went to lose the series in 6. So I think if history is going to repeat itself, if Tyrese is going to do the choke, I can't wait. Can't wait to see him choke. Cannot wait. I'm going to...
The Pacers had some... They had went into some zone and were just sinking them. It was quite crazy.
The Knicks played awful drop coverage all night. They drop coverage, for those of you who don't know, when you're playing defense, you're playing man-to-man, you stay tight, you stay attached to their body. But if you have a player who isn't necessarily the fastest or most agile on defense, you allow them the space to drop, and then you send a double. So the defender next will go help out. But when you do drop coverage against a team that shoots such a high percentage of three-pointers in the clutch, they are going to make them, and you are going to cry. Karl Anthony Towns is not that great of a defender anyway. Him dropping back doesn't make any sense because no one's going to drive on him because he is so tall and has such a long reach, and then the Knicks' help defense is so good. So why are you, just stay on your man. Just stick to him. Simple. What are you doing? It's simple. And make your free throws and make your layups.
Yeah.
They missed
and
they missed like 15 free throws, not statistically accurate. I don't know how many free throws they missed, but however many they did, that was the difference in the game.
Yep.
OG Anunoby in the start of the second half, he blew a layup. He had a fast break, he was wide open and he whiffed it. He looked like he couldn't decide whether or not he was going to dunk it or lay it up. And he just tripped over himself and the ball hit back iron. I was like, what the fuck just happened? What just happened? That was the moment I knew that we were going to lose the game. But I was so hyped by the time we hit, I think it was 111 to 93.
Yeah, I was like, it's over now. We could probably just leave.
Yeah, 111 to 93. Game's probably over, but in this rigged-ass NBA, it's definitely not. It's not over.
Conspiracy theories, let's go.
I am a full believer that the NBA is scripted. Why would ESPN not be the one carrying this one? This would be such great ratings. But TNT, they're leaving. TNT's not going to be carrying the sport anymore. They want to leave a little legacy. The last rivalry, Reggie Miller is on it. It's scripted. The NBA is based in New York. They see how crazy New York is going for this. Adam Silver, if I knew where your office was, bro, I'm going to find you. So mad.
How many more games do they have to play?
That was game 1 of a 7-game series.
Okay.
It's probably going to go 7 based on everything, but I really don't want the Knicks to go 7 because that's when they get injured. And they're not going to be able to sustain the pace that the Pacers play at, even though they were able to sustain it for all game yesterday until the last 2 minutes.
So by the time this episode goes out, you may know.
We'll be past game 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Have a good idea.
There's a game tomorrow, Friday, and then Sunday.
Okay.
So Friday, then Sunday. This episode's coming out on Wednesday.
We'll
so if the Knicks get swept, I probably will just ask to not be part of the episode. I'm going to just be crying. I'll be at home.
Just going to leave the podcast altogether.
Just oh my God. I can't do it. I will be in emotional distress. At least my Mets won last night. My Mets finally hit a home run after a 6-game drought of not hitting home runs. Yeah.
Dodgers got smoked the night we went.
Yeah, it was tough.
God bless. I'm hyped. I'm hyped on that. Y'all saw a Dodgers
Anyways.
game? Y'all saw a Dodgers game? Oh yeah. Sweet. Nice. Keep going. Keep going to him. I want to see that.
Anyway.
Oh no, we can't talk about the Dodgers losing now.
No, this is. So
It was a bad night, all right? We got bobbleheads. That's all that matters.
Well, were they different bobbleheads, or did you guys get
Vince
the same
Scully.
one?
Vince
Scully.
Scully.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
He's a
Yeah.
legendary announcer.
Monster, yeah.
he's
Rest
now
in
sitting
peace.
on my toilet.
Oh,
Yeah, let's
That's
talk about
where-
that.
Nah, I'll get slayed for that. It's where for my bobblehead still.
that's cool actually.
Yeah.
And, wait, did you unbox it?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Did you unbox your?
I've thrown away
Not
the
yet.
packaging. I was like, fuck it.
Yeah. I do like a bobblehead. I think as a piece of sports memorabilia, a bobblehead is actually a really nice thing to have. We should get cycling bobbleheads.
That'd be hilarious.
If someone can find like cycling bobbleheads, please plug it, comment
Maybe
it.
we need to start it.
Yeah, maybe that's the next business venture.
So we haven't really talked that much about watching pro cycling, but who do you think is the most overrated cyclist right now, professionally? Not just your friend who's blowing up the group ride. Yeah, the most overrated and underrated is also the next question.
Most overrated. I would say underrated for sure is Isaac Del Toro. I think he's super underrated. I think he's going to be one of the best in the future because he's only 21, which is insane.
Wow, he's only 21.
Yeah.
He rides for UAE, right?
UAE, yeah.
He's in the pink jersey. He's been in it for the last 3 stages.
Yeah.
Unreal. I hope he holds on to it because I don't want to see Juan Ayuso winning. Nothing against him,
Yeah.
nothing personally, but I'd rather have Isaac Del Toro winning.
I would say overrated and might be controversial. Primoz Roglic.
Oh,
I think he's just, he's a SRAM athlete, but I think he's just overrated. Like, I don't know. That man needs to take some parking lot, like, riding classes or something. I feel like he's always crashing.
he's always crashing.
He was a downhill skier. I'm like, what happened?
That's the reason why he's always crashing. He just knows how to crash land. That's
Yeah.
it.
Next question. Best team kit right now or this year?
For sure, Jaco Arula. Is that how you say it? Arula?
Alula.
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 The
Alula.
purple one?
I don't
Shout out,
support half that team, but I like their kit.
Their kit is pretty sick.
Yeah.
Shout out Matt putting gray bibs in the Pro Peloton again. It's a nice look. It's a
I
good
like them.
look.
And then women, I would probably go.
You could just say the same team because they wear the same kit.
Do
No, it
they?
has to be different. I think what is it? Demi Volleran's on it.
FDJ.
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 I like their kit and their bikes.
I like how unique women's kit looks
They're the
like
best.
right now.
They're-
The last couple years, it's just been a sea of pink and purple, but this year in particular, there's a lot more like uniqueness about it. I do think Jaco Lula's kit last year was also still really solid. Like the orange, silver, and blue was a really good look, I think.
I'm glad we seem to have moved away from the men's peloton only wearing blue, or so many of them having blue, and you see the helicopter shots, and it's just like, cool, well, I can't work out who the hell anyone is because it's just different shades.
Yeah, I would say women paint jobs on their bikes and kit are way better than men's. I feel like men's
Paint jobs
peloton
for
is
sure.
so boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially like Ineos. It's like, oh, come on,
Safe.
in the same color for like 5 years.
Yeah.
Switch it up.
Ineos's colors, like when they adopted the red, was really strange to me, to be honest. I thought they would have always stuck with like the black and blue with sky, but I guess Ineos as a brand is different. So
Yeah.
their
Yeah.
title sponsor changed. They get different colors.
Yeah, I think they needed to kind of like differentiate themselves from that
Yeah.
moment, from a new era.
Wiggins
I think
and
it's
Froome era.
refreshing. I think it's good.
I wish that they would do their orange kit year round instead of the red.
The training kit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know who does have a really badass kit on Ineos? Bernal.
Yeah.
Bernal's Columbia jersey is so
Fire.
fire. So good. The yellow, blue,
Mm-hmm.
and white. Crazy.
That's really nice. I like that.
I have a random question
Yes.
to butt in before the next question. Ugliest kit.
Ooh. Trek.
Okay.
No hesitation. Well, there are uglier kits, but I think Trek stands out to me because they're winning right now. Like
Yeah.
they're winning a lot.
Fair enough.
I feel like images of older kits have just disappeared from my head.
Ooh, I have another one. Might be worse, even though I do like blue and orange. Are they still Post NL or DSM Firmenich? What are they called now?
The one where they ride Scott.
Yes, they were. Yeah.
Q365.
No. That's different. Actually, their kit is really nice.
Their kit's fire and their bikes. It's
Yeah.
not DSM. They're not a team anymore, are they?
I think it's Post NL.
Post,
I think it's
yeah,
Post NL.
It's blue. Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
They
blue
just
and
won a
orange.
stage recently. I think.
Yeah.
Fair
Their kit I don't like. Astana's kit is all right.
There's a lot going on in this Thanos kit.
Yeah, it's too much.
Movistar's is kind of meh too. Like
Movistar's
it's-
has always been meh.
They've been the same
They've
for
been-
like a minute now.
That is a legacy program,
Yeah,
to be fair.
it
So
is.
keeping the branding the same or similar for a long time that's actually hard to do. As much as we want things to change, it's hard to switch up the identity.
One that I like and do think is refreshing is the Decathlon like AG2R kit.
I agree.
I think it's almost like a starscape. And their bikes are beautiful too.
Their
Like,
colors are sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was a bold move to move away from the brown and the blue.
Brown shorts though, and the blue bikes.
Yeah, brown, blue. But yeah, I think they've done a really good job of that new kit.
Tudor Pro Cycling. The super simple, all black with
Apart from a big Red Bull logo.
big
over
red.
the
Yeah.
chest.
Do they have a big Red Bull logo?
Yeah,
I think they just have it on the sleeve.
I'm just.
I don't like their
Maybe
kids.
it
You don't like it?
Nah, I don't like that. My friend's gonna laugh. That Hugo Boss. I don't want to fuck with Hugo Boss.
That's fair.
Maybe
Tudor
the-
is it's watches, I
Yeah,
believe.
it's a watch.
So
It's a team Alaphilippe's on.
yeah.
Okay, the Red Bull logo isn't on the chest, but it's on the sleeves.
sides.
It's quite a lot.
It's a lot more tasteful than the actual Red Bull kit. The
Red Bull is-
The Red Bull kit is so nasty. Like when that came out
And
last
their
year,
bikes.
the Red Bull on the head tube was not a smart choice. I feel like they could have done so much more with like, having the Red Bull like imprint on the rear triangle.
Yeah.
Would have been crazy, and then make the bike chrome like a Red Bull can, chrome and blue.
They need to hire you.
Why not?
Let's head over their headquarters right now.
I'm down. Take me with you. Let's go.
Let's go.
I like the fact that you asked us the question though. People should do that more. Okay, one more question.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to see more of in pro cycling?
Pro cycling. I know everyone's probably gonna hate this, but I think like more gravel sections. I know that's dangerous sometimes, but I think it makes it that much better and more exciting.
Cool.
That's an interesting point.
Yeah. A little bit more like safety stuff, like not putting a speed bump 150 meters from the finish. That's all.
It's not much
Or a
to ask.
corner.
or a corner 100 meters ago. Like that's
Yeah.
like the recent Giro where they're like having to like go into like a single lane kind of like
Yeah. Greater than 90-degree right-hand turn
yeah
into a sprint finish.
yeah
Seems a little amateurish for
Yeah,
World Tour.
yeah. So more regulation on that, making it safer, because I hate seeing really good cyclists crash and then they're out like Wout and stuff. And
Yeah. Should we head into the rapid fires?
Yeah.
Okay.
let's go.
All right. Rapid fire questions. They're not always that rapid. Sometimes you have to think about it.
Okay.
So feel free. This one might be easier. SRAM or Shimano?
SRAM. I was gonna say Shimano's a joke.
You didn't
Can't
want
have that on record. Of the Grand Tours, Giro, Tour, or La Vuelta?
For some reason the Giro's so exciting this year, so I would say the Vuelta though.
Oh, okay. Fair.
There's a curveball. I think the Tour is so kind of boring, to be honest.
Olympics or World Championships?
Cycling or in general? I guess
Cycling.
cycling. Duh. I would probably World Championships, that's for sure.
Sunrise or sunset rides?
Sunset. I hate waking up early.
Fair. Favorite place to ride outside of California?
Mallorca.
Ooh.
Mallorca's lit. Everyone should go there. It's super nice. Everyone's friendly. To cyclist.
When's the best time to go?
Like April through like June. It's like the high season. If you go in the off season during December, it is a little bit colder, but like 65, not that cold. but a lot of restaurants are closed because of the off season. But that's where all the pro teams go for training camp. So last time I was there, I rode with Bora for a little bit, with Primos of all people.
Did you roast him to his face?
Nah, he was riding too fast. He didn't want the smoke. So yeah,
Favorite place to ride inside of California?
inside. Honestly, I like Bakersfield. Bakersfield's a cool, underrated place to ride.
There's a lot of gravel out there, isn't there?
A lot of gravel. There's like a lot of epic climbs. Like there's one called Breckenridge that's like 30 miles long, and it goes up to like Lake Isabella, and you can drop down, and then you can go up out to Sierra, which is like a ski resort again, and then you're up into like 8,000 feet, and then you can drop back down.
That's the Eastern Sierras, right? Or
Yeah.
is that?
Yeah. So yeah, Bakersfield, underrated.
That's where the rock cobbler is.
Oh
isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah. When I see the rock cobbler happening, I'm like, cool, cycling season is back.
Yeah. Just don't go in the summer because it's like 110 degrees there, like every day. So.
Yeah.
It's like the name, Bakersfield.
Dude. Anyways.
Historically speaking, this could be anyone in your life, professional, not professional, just someone you're related to, whatever. Who would you want to go on a bike ride with that you've never ridden a bike with?
Could be anyone in the world.
Could be anyone.
Alive or dead.
Gordon Ramsay.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
You know
he's
he's
out
a
here.
cyclist.
He's here too.
Oh,
He's
really?
always here. Yeah.
I think I heard something about that, but
He rides Griffith Park. Him and Tyler the Creator. They're always in Griffith
I
Park.
heard about that.
They ride together?
No, well,
I was like,
that would be
is
a crazy
weird
pairing.
Yeah,
combination.
yeah.
But you can catch them out here. Yeah.
Yeah.
My friend did a bike fit for Gordon Ramsay.
Oh,
Hell
cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
How'd
Yeah.
that go?
Pretty good, I guess. I don't really know. No, I think he got to
Terrible.
go to his house in, like, this is in England. But yeah, no, it's cool that I think he's also dabbled in some triathlon too.
Of course. Yeah. We don't talk about that.
But I like that answer.
Yeah, I love cooking, and I feel like he's so passionate about cooking, and when he talks about it, not the yelling on Hell's Kitchen, but like when he's at home cooking, like he's so like makes you excited to cook.
Yeah.
Even if you don't cook, he's like the way he talks about it is like when someone's talking passionately about something, it's easy to get like, oh, it's so exciting, like.
Yeah.
And I like that about him.
What's your favorite pre-ride meal then?
Pre-ride meal. I usually don't eat.
Really?
Yeah, I usually do like a fasted ride.
Fast ride.
Yeah, not fast. I just ride slow. That's probably why I ride slow.
Maybe.
But if I really feeling myself, I'll get like a rainbow sprinkled donut from like Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh, damn. I kind of want donuts.
Yeah,
tonight.
fire.
Oh,
Maybe a better question is, what's your favorite post-ride meal? And I'm not talking like still in kit before you shower, but like, say you've had a really good ride and you're like, cool, now I'm going to eat something really good that you've made.
yes.
Oh, I've been recently making like this calamari and shrimp pasta, like black ink squid pasta.
Fancy ass.
It's easy to make. It's already made. No, it's the spaghetti is like not homemade. It's already in the package, and then it takes like 2 seconds.
Your fasted rides, what's the perfect ride length?
Like 45 miles
Okay.
is like a good length.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So we'll get that tomorrow, plus your commute in and out. So
Yeah. I'm expecting to be like 70. or
yeah,
something.
yeah, that's what we'll do.
But I don't mind a century. It's not bad.
What is some of the best advice you can give someone who's just picking up riding a bike?
Don't get too lost in the weeds. There's so much you can get lost in with tire pressure and having the fastest bike and having the fastest group set. And it's like, just ride something like it's fun. A lot of people ask me that, like people that don't ride in my life, they're like, oh, I just got a bike. It's like, it's nothing fancy. I'm like, I don't care. It's like bike's a bike. Like you can get as high or as low level as you want, like as long as it's cool.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I always get in these arguments sometimes. People are like, oh, the Shimano is like 0.2 seconds faster. I'm like, okay, like what's that mean? Doesn't even matter. Like it shifts faster than you can blink your eye. Like it's fast enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I would say just don't get into the hype too much.
True.
What's your favorite cycling accessory?
Favorite cycling accessory? That's a great question. Probably like a burrito bag. You can carry all kinds of cool stuff like food and snacks.
Solid.
Usually I'll like for a first coffee stop somewhere, I'll buy like 2 pastries and put them in. I love sweets, so I'll just like pack my thing full of that.
Nice.
It's not Aero, but It's good.
Who needs it? Favorite album to listen to that you could listen to straight while riding a bike?
That's a good one. This might sound crazy to a lot of people, but sometimes I just ride with no headphones.
It's not crazy at all.
Usually I put on probably Kendrick, the new Kendrick album. I can probably run through that a few times.
Immaculate listening.
Yes.
Immaculate listening. I do the no headphones thing every now and again too, just to like have
Just to feel something.
just to feel something. But like I still find myself looking for music.
Yeah.
Like I'll sing to myself. I'll listen to like Britney Spears in my own head.
Hell yeah. It's
Anyway.
my favorite. That new Selena and
Benny.
yeah, their new album's lit.
I despise Benny Blanco.
Benny Blanco he's just like a great producer.
He made the 2010s what the 2010s sound like,
Yeah.
which is part of the reason why I despise him. But also he's with Selena. How dare he? How dare you do that?
How dare you?
Okay, final rapid fire question. Use 3 words to explain what riding a bike means to you.
3 words. I would say fun, being around friends, relaxing, and productive.
Productive is a good word for riding a bike. You get a lot of good thinking done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that takes care of the interview section of this podcast. Honestly, really nice to be able to sit down with you and have a chat. So great. You guys have been spending a lot of time together this week. This is my first time seeing you since you've gotten here. So
Yeah.
we're super glad to have you on. Thank you for coming on. Thank you
Yeah,
for sitting
thanks for
in
inviting
this
me.
steam room that we're
Yes.
in right now. It's a bit hot. We appreciate you taking the time, honestly. It was great perspective. Someone who's in the industry pushing a product that, I respect it's nice to be able to sit down with you.
Thank you. It was fun.
Yeah.
Buy SRAM.
Not a paid advertisement.
Thanks for tuning in to the Other Side Cycling podcasts. We really appreciate you listening, tuning in, sharing, whatever else. We'll be putting out episodes weekly, every Wednesday. As always, if there are any topics you'd like to weigh in on, please drop us a message on Instagram, shoot us an email to othersidecycling@gmail.com. And if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments down below. Yeah.
Once again, a special shout outs in order to our homie Mitch Boyer. Thank you so much, Mitch, for allowing us to take over the How to Drop Your Friends podcast space to record our episodes. We love being here and getting to hang out with you and Remy between recordings. So thank you, Mitch.
Thanks.
Thank you
Thanks,
all for
Dad.
tuning in. Thanks, Dad.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kyle.
And use code Katankara at checkout and get 0% off.
At shop.sram.com.
Yes, sir.
Cool. Good night.
Good night, everybody.
All right.
Good night.